Welcome to everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the side effect of epsilon and delta in the definition of continuity. So at first we are going to the definition of continuity. What is the definition? So if we discuss the epsilon delta definition of continuity of a function, then at first we need a non-empty subset of R, say D, and let C be any point of D inside D. Now we define a function f which maps from D to R. This is a real valued function. Now let us consider any arbitrary epsilon greater than 0. That is, epsilon is a positive real number. Okay, epsilon greater than 0. What is it? A positive real number. That means if we take the value of epsilon as 1 or 5, then this is nothing but a positive length from 0 origin. So this epsilon, or rather this delta, these are nothing but positive length. Now f is said to be continuous at C when if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists delta greater than 0 such that mod of fx minus fc less than epsilon for all x in D satisfying mod of x minus c less than delta. So this is our epsilon delta definition of continuity. F is said to be continuous at a point C in the domain D if for any epsilon greater than 0 we get a positive length delta such that this happens. Now if we draw the graph of a function, so we get, suppose D be any closed interval AB and f is any arbitrary function. We draw the graph as this. So this is A, this is B, and C is any point in D. So let C be here. Then FC is here. So FC is the corresponding function value at C. Let this is FC. Then according to the definition, if a mod of fx minus fc less than epsilon, so this can be written as mod of fx minus fc less than epsilon for all x in for all x in D satisfying mod of x minus c less than delta. So it can be written as fx belongs to fc minus epsilon fc plus epsilon for all x in D satisfying x belongs to c minus delta c plus delta. So at first we choose any arbitrary epsilon greater than 0, and for this epsilon we get a delta. Then epsilon is also a positive length, so take epsilon as this length. Then we have to find out this fc minus epsilon, fc plus epsilon. So say this is fc minus epsilon and fc plus epsilon is this. Then we get a delta such that x lies inside this c minus delta c plus delta. So let delta be this length. Then this is C minus delta, this is C plus delta. Now if we draw the horizontal strip as this and the vertical strip as this, then we can see that according to the definition, the function value fx lies inside this portion, this strip. For which function value? The function value corresponding to the x, where x lies inside this portion. So for those x which lies inside this C minus delta, C plus delta open interval, for those x, the corresponding function values lies inside this portion, fc minus epsilon, fc plus epsilon, this strip. If this happen, then we can say that f is continuous at C. Okay. Now our question is, if we exchange the position of epsilon and delta in the definition of continuity, then what happens? So see, if we exchange the definition, so here be, okay, f is said to be continuous at C if our changed version will be, for all delta greater than 0 there exists epsilon greater than 0, such that mod of fx minus fc less than epsilon for all x and d satisfying mod of x minus c less than delta. This happens. So if our exchange version of definition of continuity be like that, then what happens? So here for any arbitrary delta we get epsilon. Now going to our second picture. For this we take a function. So here we define this function as f maps from 0 to closed interval to R, defined by fx equal to 1 for x lies inside this portion, and it takes the value 2 for this section. And this is the graph of this function, graphical representation. Now next we check the continuity of the function f at 1. And in the second or exchange version of continuity, that is for any delta greater than 0 there exists epsilon and the rest will happen. Then what? So for any delta greater than 0, let delta be this length, this is 1 minus delta, this is 1 plus delta. There exists for all delta greater than 0 there exists epsilon. Suppose we take epsilon as this length, then at the point 1 the function value is 2, so this is f of 1, this is f of 1. Now this is f of 1 minus epsilon and this is f of 1 plus epsilon. Again we draw the strip. Say this is our horizontal strip and this is the corresponding vertical strip. See here the function values fx corresponding to those x where x lies inside this 1 closed 1 minus delta open in this section, the corresponding function value is this. So these function values lie inside this strip, but in the left portion 1 minus delta up to 1, for this x the corresponding function values are equal to 1 and this lies outside this strip. So here the continuity at the point 1 breaks the condition of continuity at the point 1 is not fulfilled, therefore f is not continuous at 1. But here delta is any arbitrary and epsilon is any fixed. For any delta greater than 0 we get an epsilon. So if we change the value of epsilon, that is if there exists epsilon as this length, then what happens? So going to the next figure, say this is our next figure, this is the value of f of 1, 2, and we take, this is 1 minus delta, 1 plus delta, 0. So if we take epsilon as this length, then what happens? Say this is f1 minus epsilon and this is f1 plus epsilon, and we draw the strip. Say this is our horizontal strip and this is vertical strip. See here, for any delta greater than 0, we get this epsilon such that this happen, that is f1, this is f1 minus epsilon, this is f1 plus epsilon, this is horizontal strip, this is 1 minus delta, 1 plus delta, this is vertical strip. So we have to check if is continuous at 1 or not. Now we see that the corresponding function values fx for those x lies inside 1 minus delta, 1 plus delta is this function value and this is the function value, and both the function value lies inside this strip. So from this figure we can conclude that f is continuous at 1. According to the definition, fx lies inside f1 minus epsilon, f1 plus epsilon for all x in this section, that is fx lies inside f1 minus epsilon, f1 plus epsilon for all x in D, here D is 0 to closed interval, such that x belongs to 1 minus delta, 1 plus delta, and we change it as for all delta greater than 0 there exists epsilon greater than 0, such that this happens. So if we change the position of epsilon and delta, then the definition of continuity is violated here, because we know that here f is discontinuous at 1, but since we change this portion, the position of epsilon and delta, then this is the side effect of this exchange, and from this figure we can see that f is continuous at 1, but this is totally wrong. So be careful, the position of epsilon and delta, this is wrong. So coming to our original definition, this is wrong. Here for any epsilon greater than 0, that is for any arbitrary value of epsilon, we get delta such that this hold. If this hold, then we can say that f is continuous at C. But this is not true, that is if we exchange the position of epsilon and delta, that will be the side effect of these values of epsilon and delta, and it will be harmful for the checking of continuity of a function at some point in the domain. So in the next upcoming videos we will discuss more interesting topic. Keep watching. Thank you.